Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to our CSS training session. Today we will talk about the transform property. Friends, with the CSS transform property, you can rotate, scale or manipulate elements on your web page without distributing the layout. This means you can change the size, shape or position of elements, making your design dynamic and engaging. For example, you can rotate a box or adjust its size to make it bigger or smaller. All of this is achieved using the transform property in CSS. Here in the diagram, you can see how transformations work. For instance, when you rotate an element, it appears tight, tilted. With the scale transformation, the element can become larger or smaller. Similarly, using translate, you can move the element to a different position, such as slightly upward or to the side. Now let's discuss some of functions of the transform property, which we will go through one by one. First, let's talk about the translate function. This function allows you to move any element along the x-axis or y-axis. For example, if you want a box to move to the right or downward, you can use the translate function. Let's understand this with an example. Here I will open my code editor. You can see there is a div element with a class box. This box has a specified height and its background color is green. We have also added a transition property to 0.5 second to make the movement smooth. Now we will move this box slightly. We will use the transform property with the translate functions and set it to 50 pixel 50 pixel. This means the box will move 50 pixel to the right and 50 pixel downward. Let's see it in action. When I hover over the box, notice how it moves 50 pixel to the right and 50 pixels down. This is how the translate function works. Next, let's talk about the rotate function. This function allows you to rotate any element either clockwise or counterclockwise. A positive value result in a clockwise rotation, while a negative value result in a counterclockwise rotation. Now to apply the rotate function, we modify the transform property. For instance, if we set it to rotate 45 degree, the box will rotate 45 degrees clockwise. Let's hover over in the observe, see how it rotates by 45 degrees. We can also change the angle. For example, if we set it to rotate 50 degree, the box rotate 50 degrees. Similarly, we can decrease the angle to 5 or 10 degrees. The rotate functions allow you to rotate the element to many degrees as needed. Now let's talk about the scale functions. These functions allow you to change the size of any element. If you want any element to appear larger when the user hover over it, you can use the scale functions. For example, if you set to 1.5 value, it means we are increasing the size of the element by 50%. Let's understand with an example. Here I will demonstrate by applying a scale value of 1.5. First I will set up the code. The box is styled similarly to the previous examples, but this time we will use the transform scale 1.5 property. When you hover over the box, you will see that it grows 1.5 times its original size. Notice how the box becomes larger on hovering. In this way, the scale function can be used to enlarge an element dynamically. You can experiment with different scale values to achieve the desired effect. Next comes the skew function. This function allows you to tilt an element along the x-axis or y-axis, creating a slanted effect. Let's see how this works with an example. I'll copy my previous example to demonstrate. As you can see, the setup is similar to before. Now we will apply the skew function. For instance, 20 degrees along the x-axis and 10 degrees along the y-axis. Here's how it works. When you hover over the box, notice how it tilts according to the specified values. The element becomes slanted along both axes, creating a desired skewed effect. Combine transition, rotation, scaling and skewing all together. Although it is a bit complex, it is incredibly powerful. Let understand with an example. I will copy my code here to demonstrate. In this example, I have used the matrix function with the value like matrix 1, 0.2, 0.2, 1, 0, 0. This will apply transformation in multiple ways. Notice how the element change in size and orientation. The metric functions used six values a, b, c, d, e, f, where a and d are for scaling, b and c are for skewing, e and f are translation, horizontal and vertical movement. You can see how these values control the transformation applied to the element. Additionally, if you want to change the point from which the transformation is applied, you can use the origin property. For instance, let's set transform origin top right and rotate the element by 45 degrees. Observe how the transformation now originates from the top right corner instead of the default center. Let's take it a step further and combine multiple transformation. For example, if I apply the following, translate 50 pixel, 50 pixel, move the element 50 pixel to the right and 50 pixel downward. Rotate 45 degree, rotate the element 45 degrees, scale 1.2, enlarge the element by 20%. When you hover over the element, you will see that all these transformations are applied. The box moves, rotates and grows bigger. In this way, you can use the matrix function or combine multiple transform properties to create advanced dynamic effects. So friends, if you want to create even more advanced effects, CSS also offers 3D and transforms using functions like rotate x, rotate y and translate z. You can move or rotate elements in 3 dimensions, adding depth to your designs. Let's explore with an example. Here I'll copy the code to demonstrate. As you can see, I have set up the code to create a 3D effect. For instance, I have specified a perspective of 500 which gives us a 3D view. I have also set the elements width and height to 100 pixels and added a green background color. To enable 3D transforms, I have used transform style preserve 3D. This ensures that the 3D transformation we apply are visible. Next, I have applied the following transformation. Rotate x 45 degree. Rotates the element 45 degree along the x-axis. Translate z 100 pixel. Move the elements 100 pixel along the z-axis depth. When we hover over the box, you will notice that it rotates and moves, creating a dynamic 3D effects. Observe how the position and orientation of the box change, giving it depth and movement. CSS transform, especially when combined with transition and animation, are incredibly powerful tools for dynamically changing the appearance of elements. They allow you to create engaging and interactive design. If you have any question, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.